Well, we have one day where it's supposed to be nice today, which means we need to get a project done today. And it's a pretty big project even for us to get done all in one day, but we're gonna try. The first thing we need to do is we need to build some sides on my trailer. I have an 18-foot trailer. It's 18 feet long by about 6.5 feet wide, and it's open on the sides. We need to haul something today that needs the sides enclosed. So the first thing we need to do is enclose those sides.
But lengthwise, right?
Yeah, 2 feet by 8 foot. I've got 4 sheets of plywood that we're just going to cut in half. We're going to build 2-foot tall sides on this. We got the 2x4s cut. We're going to start putting them on the trailer. Now my trailer has kind of a track along the sides that the 2x4s can just sit down in, and then we're just going to strap them on. All right, we've got the first side on. What I'm just using are these heavy duty brackets, and we're just going around the posts on the side of the trailer, and it seems to be going on nice and strong. All we have left to do is the back. Now on these corners, I'm just going to use a 90-degree bracket, and then we're just about done. Well, the trailer is all fixed. The sides, I think, turned out really well. Now, we'll be able to see. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fill this trailer up today. Sarah, why don't you tell them what we're going to get?
We're actually going to get some organic compost for the raised bed garden in the greenhouse, the new greenhouse. We're so excited.
Right. One of our awesome subscribers who lives in a neighboring town told us about a place that sells OMRI-approved organic compost in bulk, and the price is actually very reasonable. Now the downside is that it is quite a drive for us. It's probably about 45 minutes each way, so we're not really sure how many trips it's going to take, so we need to get going. We may have to do this 3 or 4 times in order to fill up everything that we have done. Obviously we're not going to do that all in one day, but if we can get one load home today and into the raised bed, that would be great. Well, we're back from picking up our compost. It was a longer drive than we had anticipated, but I think totally worth it.
This quality of compost is amazing. Did we tell you guys that this is organic compost, OMRI approved? So we're really excited to be able to have access to this, at least within a short enough drive.
Right, yeah, I think it's probably going to take us, for sure, one more trip, but we'll see after we get things filled up today how high this fills everything up. It might take us 3 trips, but honestly, I'm willing to make the drive because this looks like great stuff. Let's go take a look at it.
You guys, look at how nice this compost looks. It is a gorgeous black. We're so happy to have found it. And you know, just a couple days ago, we got like 3 or 4 inches of rain. So this is pretty wet. It's pretty sopping wet, but it's still not packing down. It's nice and loose. This is gonna make great filling for our raised bed. But before we can start digging this out and filling up the raised bed, there are a couple things that we need to do first over at the greenhouse.
So before we can start putting the compost into the raised bed, there are some things I've decided we need to do to the raised bed to make it stronger. The first thing I'm going to do is just kind of reinforce the corners with some pieces of 2x4. We're just going to screw these to both sides, and that'll just sturdy everything up to help hold the weight of the compost. Alright, so now we have those pieces of 2x4 in every corner. The next thing that I've decided we're going to do is take actually some of this leftover 2x12 that we have, and where the 2 boards here, the long boards, meet, I'm actually going to put a piece of this at each joint and screw it on there just for some added stability so that the pressure of the soil pushing out doesn't make these bow at those joints. So I'm going to have Sarah hold that and we'll just put these on. Alright, now that we have all of that stabilized, the last thing that we're going to do before we can get ready to start filling this is we're going to actually take some, I have this leftover pipe from the last greenhouse that we built. What I'm a little worried about is because this raised bed is so long, I'm worried that the pressure from the soil is going to kind of push these long boards, you know, just out. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take my post driver and I'm going to drive a piece of this metal pipe on the outside just like this, which will give quite a bit of extra stability to these boards. Now for today I'm just going to do one on each side in the middle. Eventually our plan is to do more of these along each side, because then we're also hoping these will double as a place where we can build our hoops. We're going to need hoops over the raised bed in order to put the row cover on, which will give more frost protection. But for today we're just going to do these here in the middle, mostly because we need to go buy more pipe before we do more. So we're going to get these in and see what kind of stability that gives to the sides. Alright, now that we have that driven in, I'm just going to attach a bracket here on both sides to actually attach it to the board. There we go, and that adds quite a bit of stability to this side. Now again, we're going to add more of these down the road, and that will add even more stability, but for today we're just going to do the one on each side. So the very last thing that we need to do before we can start loading up the compost is we actually need to kind of undo some of the work that we already did. We need to take this end wall back off. So it's just really 2 boards and the door that we need to take back off so that I can get in there with the tractor and load it that way. Now before we start unloading the compost out of the trailer that we purchased, we're actually going to use what we have in our own compost pile first. Now it's not nearly as nice as the stuff that we bought, but it is, you know, still some good compost. It's mostly old bedding out of our chicken house and duck house and, you know, other things around the homestead, kitchen scraps and things. But we're going to put this on the very bottom of the bed because I can't guarantee that there's not quite a few weed seeds in here and things. It's just a pile that we have sitting, you know, back on our property. So we're going to put this at the bottom and then put the really nice organic compost that we just purchased on top of it. We did get a lot of questions about why we didn't just fill this entire bed with compost that we've made. And the truth is, we just don't make enough compost to do that. We feed leftover scraps to our pigs when we have them. We feed things to the chickens. And, you know, we just don't have a lot of waste here on the homestead. So while we do have a compost pile, it just doesn't generate the quantity that we would need for this raised bed. Again, this raised bed is 22 feet long, it's going to be 18 inches deep, and it's 6 feet wide. So it's a lot of compost needed for this, and so we just don't produce enough. So we're going to use what we have, and then we'll buy the rest.
So our homemade compost is all in and spread out, so it's time to bring the first scoop of the really nice black compost that we just got.
So we had to make an adjustment to our plan. Originally we were going to just dump everything from the one end of the raised bed and try to rake it down to the other end. But because the stuff is so wet and so heavy right now because of all the rain we've had, we just can't rake it that far. I mean, that's a long bed. So then we tried bringing over bucket loads and kind of pulling up to the side of the greenhouse and shoveling it out of the bucket into the raised bed, and that was okay, but still way more work than probably needed to be. So we've come up with a third plan, which is actually working out really well, and that is that we're bringing over our Crystal Licks tubs, and we're filling them here, taking them back with the tractor, and then we can just dump them into the raised bed. And that is actually saving us quite a bit of time, because either way we needed to shovel this big pile either into the bucket or into the tub. So on this end it's the same amount of work, but on the end over by the greenhouse, at least this way we can just dump them. We don't have to re-shovel everything out over there. So it's a big job, but we're hoping to at least make a big dent on it yet today. And yes, I know, if we had to do this over again, I would have built the raised bed before the greenhouse. But hey, we weren't planning that far ahead, I guess.
We like for you guys to be able to learn from our mistakes.
Right, that's why we make as many mistakes as we can.
So if you do this whole big project like us, build your raised bed first and then the greenhouse. Well, we got through about 3/4 of the trailer full of compost, and this is how much it filled up with a raised bed.
Right, yeah, it filled up probably, I would say on average, probably 10 inches of the raised bed, which is great. That means one more load should at least fill this raised bed and maybe even some of the Crystalix pots, so that is a good deal.
So it's late in the afternoon, the kids just got home off the bus, so we need to clean up and get inside and start making dinner.
Yeah, this time of year when that sun starts to go down, it starts to get chilly fast, so it's time to call it a day. You guys, thank you so much for spending the day with us. We're so happy that you're joining us. Hey, if you're enjoying our content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you know other people who would enjoy it, please share our videos on all of your social media. And until next time, thank you so much for stopping by the homestead. Take care and God bless.
God bless.